But then Adam Silver goes on Fox this morning and decides to, I guess, alleviate some of that negative publicity. And what does he announce? He announces that the All-Star Weekend is changing. What we all called for all those weeks ago is he is now officially changing it from East to West to Team USA versus the world. And he made that official announcement. He's following the NHL's blueprint of how they did it, and which was an unresounding success. And now the NBA is going to try to replicate that same buzz, that same intensity. I don't know if they'll be able to do it, but this was easily the right move.
It was the right move. I wonder on the world side, because let's call it for what it is. The NHL thing worked because it was a specific
love of country.
Yeah, I don't know if that works on.
Giannis won't care. You know what it is? They're relying on the international players to spite the American players for not anti-American.
Here's the thing.
I don't want to put it like that.
Hang on. I think they'll care. But is the rest of the world going to – and I know it's only about the continental United States in the end of the day.
Yeah, they want to show that basketball is bigger outside the U.S.
Is the rest of the world going to care about being a part of the world team? I guess everything in basketball is against the United States. Like, remember the Redeem team in 08. By the way, I think the Redeem team, greater sign, Dream team, neither here nor there. I think the Redeem team set the tone for United States basketball to rule and those players to rule for years to come. Colin, if you ask me right now, U.S. will lose. They'll lose. If Curry and LeBron take it serious, they might be able to win. They might be able to win if Curry and LeBron take it serious, and that's a big might. And even if they play in it, remember, LeBron didn't play in the All-Star game last year. But LeBron is, when you think of Team USA basketball, who do you think of? You think of LeBron James.
The thing is, world is the three best players in the league.
They do. And even past that, I think their role players could be significantly better than the United States role players. Is Anthony Edwards going to care? I
got to imagine they will, but I don't know how good it will be from the – or do you have to financially incentivize on top of it? Do you have to give them money on top of it?
That's a joke if they have to. Can I say something?
Is it?
That's a joke if you put country on the line and they play for money.
This is not the Olympics.
Come on, the hockey guys got behind it. They should be able to get behind it too.
Okay, we'll do it. You can't compare
Why?
NHL players to NBA players because they don't operate the same. That's just the bottom line.
It's a joke. Your country's on the line. Your pride's on the line. Wake up.
Yeah, hold on. It doesn't matter.
Get out of it.
You're not winning for a medal here. You're not going against the other countries. This is not the Olympics.
Saw, and I want to make this point too. What did Team USA in the FIBA? Did they finish like fourth? They were without Curry. They were without LeBron. They were without Durant. They finished in fourth.
The in-between years, the NBA players don't give a crap. They only give a crap when the Olympics come around.
So perfect. We're going to get embarrassed.
I don't know.
We're going to get complete.
I don't know.
These I almost said spoiled brat NBA players. I'm almost to that point. If you're telling me they're not going to care about their country, it's shame on them.
The good thing is this is a one-night, two-night thing. It's a weekend instead of traveling somewhere and God knows where across the world trying to play in a FIFA tournament in the thick of the offseason. I understand that, but
LeBron will care. You know what? LeBron will play, he'll care, and he'll make sure he win. Yeah. As long as LeBron is still around, the United States isn't losing in basketball.
They're going to beg him.
If LeBron, and listen, Christian, I think you might want to chime in on this too. If LeBron is around, okay, I don't think Team USA is losing to anybody in basketball.
So he's not that much better than everybody else. Go ahead, Christian.
You asked a little bit earlier about whether or not there will be the same motivation for the world team because you're fighting for just not America. Like that's the entire thing you're uniting around. Is that you're not American.
It's in the spite of America. Yeah.
Well, we have this already in sports. Like that is the Ryder Cup. It's Europeans who are not American.
Yeah,
There's they've made a new flag for it, the European flag, and it works. It is kind of a playful anti-American thing that they can get behind. And the reason why it sounds so foreign and so weird is because it hasn't happened in basketball before. So in order to have a tradition around something like you do in golf with the Ryder Cup, you just got to do it more than once, and then eventually it'll catch on. So if it's a half effort, try it once, it didn't really get as much traction as you wanted, you can't just abandon it after year one.
So Christian, if this doesn't work this year, if these players don't care about this year, then we're going with what I want. It's just to end it. Remember, you guys got on my
I
case.
just
You
said
just
the
got
opposite.
on my
You said the
case.
exact opposite.
You
just said the
You got on.
Christian just said the
Hang on.
exact
Let me finish.
opposite.
Let me finish. You guys got on my case. How do you fix it? Just end it. All right. Listen, if they put country pride on the line and these guys still don't care, I'm times 15 done with this.
What we gotta have?
I'm already
went-
times 2 done
Christian
with these
just
guys.
went on a full tangent about how the whole idea is you can't necessarily make conclusions off the trial run, and you got to do it a bunch of times, and hopefully that it will pick up steam year in and year out. And then your rebuttal to that
Is
is
that
if year one it's not perfect,
No.
let's
Yeah,
blow it
so
up.
I'm
It's not,
giving this
hang on,
leash.
Christian, let me rephrase, boys. Let me rephrase. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just want the guys to try. I want them to look like that they want to be out there. They didn't want to be out there for the last about 5 All-Star games. Can we agree on this? That ridiculous game that gets played every year where they charge an arm and a leg.
Yeah, correct.
Okay?
We need to have whoever wins the theory of a game, this All-Star game in 2026 in the NBA, to rub it in the face of the team who loses. We need to have it to be a 10-point game and Giannis windmill slams over the American defender who's under him and make
then
him
they
feel bad.
Yeah, and then they take the flag from the United States and then parade around
So-
with it. That would piss off the Americans.
So-
And they would come back year 2, and this would catch fire.
Would it piss off the player?
Yeah,
That's
because you'll
what-
embarrass
it'll
that
piss me
person
off.
individually. Yeah.
It'll hey, boys, piss me off.
You
This
won't
is gonna
watch.
piss the
No,
player
you're
off.
not going to give it a chance. You're
Yes,
already
I
far
am.
gone. You will not
I
be
already
watching
told
that
you.
game.
I already told you. If LeBron is suiting up in any kind of red, white, and blue, he's not going to let us lose. So let's
If
be
LeBron
completely
is
honest
standing
with
idly
ourselves.
by and not playing in this game,
and
and
then we hang on. Is Steph playing?
no,
Is Durant playing?
yes,
Might have a chance with KD. If one of those 3 are playing, if the
I
old
think-
guard,
I don't think that your question's a lot about the Americans. I think it's really about the Europeans or the world, I should say. 'Cause
But-
it's not
but
fair to say
those are-
because if those guys try, and there's no guarantee that Jokic will try. There's no guarantee that Antetokounmpo will try. If those guys try, they will beat the Americans full strength, full try.
those 3 that I just named, Curry, Bron, Durant, they have the most experience playing in red, white, and blue. And they, I think, take a tremendous amount of pride for putting on that red, white, and blue jersey and making sure we don't get embarrassed on a national level at our own game.
I can see it now. I can see it right now. Anthony Davis getting posterized in the garbage time
Christian,
minutes of the
stop it.
All-Star game. LeBron's at home watching from his couch, and he sees America treated like that, or at least the American basketball players treated like that. He'll get off his butt. He'll play the next year if he's still in the league. That's the motivation. And getting embarrassed.
That guard, and this goes back to the face of the league garbage that everyone talks about. The guard
Hey,
of
listen, you're pawning it off on everybody else when you've brought it up more than anyone else.
You just brought it up.
the
here.
guard of Durant, Curry, Bron. I have no faith in the next crop of young American
Well,
players.
hold
no
on.
faith.
The point being,
Oh,
is
I'm
full
banking on
strength,
Cooper
full
Flag.
strength, full try. The world is going to beat the Americans. They're just better players. That's it. That's the bottom line.
And I Christian, that's unacceptable.
Yeah,
It's unacceptable.
Well, you better accept
It's
it.
unacceptable. You can't lose a
We're going
basketball.
to have to accept it for the next
This
15
is not
years,
the
it feels
Olympics.
like.
This is
Can't
not-
lose a
This is
basketball,
not
guys.
losing to Spain. This is losing to everybody else collectively.
This is
Still
the,
losing to Spain.
Still
the
a tough
Avengers.
scene.
It's
That's
the
still-
Avengers, and we're Thanos.
Still a tough scene, Christian. Still a tough scene to lose in basketball to anybody that's not named the United States. It's a tough.
I wouldn't say that about basketball. I would say that about baseball or football.
Now
Those are
we
the two
agree-
sports we just simply can't lose at.
Well, football is, American football, there's no competition. But NHL, MLB, the country tournaments have seemed to work. The hockey was a tremendous success. I loved the World Baseball Classic, and I'm still salty that Japan, took home the glory in that tournament. But we all agree that it was successful. This needs to be successful for the NBA. I think this tournament needs to be successful for the NBA because comparatively to all the other
comparatively
leagues,
to what?
to the World Baseball Classic, to the NHL stuff that happened.
All right, this is just a game. This is just the All-Star game.
Yeah,
to
the
try to
World
make it
Baseball
interesting.
Classic is an entire. It's a weeks long tournament. It's a little different. You're talking about an All-Star weekend versus an actual international event. But I understand the idea. You can compare it to the Four Nations. The Four Nations captivated. They were there first. I think that's going to make a difference. And I don't know if the NBA is going to be able to replicate that because everybody's sort of tuned out on it. But I think if you get players for the first time, you get a little smack talk. They're the ultimate marketers. You get a bunch of guys with huge followings. I think if you do a little of that, you play it smart. I think it has a chance to be pretty good. But I would say full strength. I'm not saying this is any sort of debate, but I would just say full strength if everybody were to try. And I think there would be more of a question mark to the world trying compared